PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Hi, and welcome to PACTV Community News, local stories from Duxbury, Kingston, Pembroke, and Plymouth. We have a great show tonight as we take you to an arts festival in Pembroke, a new cafe opening at Pine Hills in Plymouth, and to the Kingston collection for a Stuff a Bus program.
PCN brings you to a yoga class geared towards children, and we visit Pembroke Library for their end of summer reading celebration.
We meet up with Plymouth's Director of Public Works for information on the Promenade and the waterfront plans.
Town Talk takes us to Duxbury Town Hall for an update, and we begin at Pembroke's Town Green. It wouldn't be summer in Pembroke without the annual Arts Festival. The weekend-long celebration kicked off this past Friday night. With the recent passing of local philanthropist and business owner James Tiny Brown, this year's event was dedicated in his honor. We met up with the festival's entertainment chair to find out what was in store for the weekend.
This is our 49th year. We're hoping to celebrate our 50th next year. And I've myself been on the committee for about 60 years. We have some people, the McCullums, that have been on for maybe 30 years. It's a very dedicated group. It's a small group, but we're very dedicated. It takes us the whole year to get it going. Sadly, we very recently lost James Tiny Brown. And he's been a big contributor for many, many years. Sometimes he's given us enough money to pay for all the entertainment. He always gives award money every year. And he gives to other organizations too, not just us. And he passed away just a couple weeks ago, so we've dedicated the festival to him this year. I'll speak a little bit about what a generous donor he was to us and how everyone in town knows him and what a good guy he was, and then we'll have a moment of silence. So if we could please just have a moment of silence for Tiny. This is a juried adult show, which means over 200 people entered and about 150 were selected by the judges. It's some of the same people that you see every year, and it's always some new people. I saw some people this year that came who never came before, so it's kind of exciting. This is basically for the artists who entered the show. Everyone who enters gets a ticket. All of our donors get tickets to come, and what we will do is there'll be entertainment starting shortly, a jazz group called None of the Above, and at 8:15 we'll make some announcements and give out the awards. So basically this is to celebrate the artists in the show. It's open to the public as well. The town is very supportive when it comes to giving money for awards. Our donors are terrific. All of our award money is given by local businesses and local individuals. That's terrific. They're incredibly supportive in that way. I hope they don't boil over in this heat. I hope they are impressed with the quality of the artwork and the quality of the music. And we have the kids show outside under the tent all weekend. We have a lot of crafters and vendors this year. It's a pretty big event in town. Everyone looks forward to the tent going up. When they see the tent go up on Wednesday, they know the festival is coming.
Always a wonderful event in Pembroke. It not only has artists, but it has a lot of dancers and singers. It's a great event. Unfortunately, it's always so hot. And under those tents, it's even hotter. And I feel so bad for the people that have to stay there all day in that heat, because it's such a wonderful thing. It's too bad it can't be air conditioned.
I know. Why can't we just have more air conditioners in the world?
I don't know.
Well, you know, it's funny you mentioned that, because when I was younger, I used to, my aunt used to be very involved with the Arts Festival, and she recruited me every year for face painting.
Oh, right.
So I know exactly how hot it can be under those tents. In fact, I might have painted a kitty cat on somebody's face, and later on it would be like a sad kitty cat.
It melted.
It was melted.
It melted.
It would melt a little bit. But yeah, it's a great event, and it's just a Pembroke summer pastime. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, you know it's August in Pembroke when you see the tent go up. With the 2020 celebration moving ever closer, folks from the Department of Public Works have plans to spruce up the South Promenade area of downtown. We met up with the department's director to get some information on what types of changes they expect down by Plymouth Rock.
The next few months, we're going to start this first section of Water Street, which we're referring to as the south section of the Promenade, which is from Sandwich Street to the DCR bathrooms, which is pretty much this area right behind me. And what the project entails is mostly aesthetic, decorative improvements, road reconstruction. We're going to start with some drainage upgrades in September, and we'll proceed through the fall. Then we'll come back next spring, summer, and fall and finish up the project. But again, it's a pedestrian tourist project, really to improve the decorative elements, wider sidewalks, street lighting, street trees, decorative sidewalks, a lot of focus on Plymouth Rock. But again, it's to really increase pedestrian activity and to provide safer travel for anybody who might be enjoying the area. This is in lieu of the 400th anniversary in 2020, but it's also something that we need to do. As you can tell if you walk the area, a lot of it is aged, it needs improvements. We have stuff with disability access. The road is settling in a lot of spots, so we need to pave the road anyways. A lot of the base of the road is pretty much non-existent. We need to improve water quality into the harbor, which has been a focus of the town for the past couple of years, which we're doing, and then just widening sidewalks. But we expect this to be a project that will last for the next 100 years. Generally, we look at things in terms of infrastructure. We start from what's below ground and then up. So we upgraded the water main and the sewer main. The water department early this summer has renewed the water services. We knew drainage was a problem. The town received a grant from the DEP for about $240,000. So we want to upgrade the drainage. Then we'll do everything on top, which is kind of like the icing on the cake, if you would. Once we have everything below ground ready to go, we'll do the stuff above ground, which is the project we're looking forward to starting in the next couple of weeks. It's been a while since there's been some major improvements in this roadway, since really the 300th anniversary when they constructed the portico. What we're doing is we're working collaboratively with the DCR to really improve Pilgrim State Park and the town property, which is pretty much the back edge of the sidewalk behind me. But again, we expect that this project will provide significant benefits over the next 50 to 100 years.
It's not every day that you'll see a DJ and food trucks at the Pembroke Library, but for everyone that took part in the Summer Reading Fest, this was their reward for a job well done. We stopped over on one of the hottest days of summer to soak it all in.
This is our Summer Reading Fest. It's our celebration for the end of summer reading, which has been going on since June. And we've had kids, teens, and adults all participating and reading lots and lots of books. So we just wanted to do something to celebrate how great they've done.
They've put in over 2,700 hours of reading over the last 6 weeks, and so this is a huge achievement for them, and I'm just here to make sure everyone has fun and knows that they're welcome to the library any day, but especially today.
People have been very excited to help us out with it. The different food trucks, the photo booth, the tattoos, they've all been very excited to help us kind of get this off the ground. And we've had a positive response from our patrons too about wanting to come be supportive of us.
Our readers are here to just celebrate reading, but they don't have to read while they're here, of course. They're picking up their free books for all the reading that they've done, but we've also got face painting, we've got a DJ, we've got food trucks, we have a raffle table, we have free water because it's very hot, but then we've also got me and the other librarians to just say, congratulations, good job, thank you for coming.
We are a volunteer organization. We do a number of things throughout the year, events, okay, in which we raise money to supplement what the library's needs are. When Debbie comes to us and says, I need to, help pay for maybe the food truck or the DJ or something like that, we can put money towards that, and we did underwrite some of the things that are here. We do the things we do because we are available to the library to say, okay, I'd like to do something a little extra, and that's what we do.
We hope that this event will show people how wonderful the library is and how much we love our patrons, and that we just want them to come back. You don't have to read every single day. You can just read a little bit. You can read hours and hours and hours, but we'll still appreciate you when you visit the library. We'll be excited to see you and to talk about whatever you've been doing. So we want people to know that the summer reading program is for everyone, and it is just a really fun thing to get you excited about the library and life in general.
Believe it or not, it's just about back to school time. Of course, that means getting new notebooks, pencils, pens, and all of the other school supplies that kids need, which for many families here in Plymouth is a financial challenge. Thankfully, the Kingston Collection and the Plymouth school system have teamed up to try to collect as many school supplies from anyone who can donate them with their Stuff a Bus program. We spoke with Superintendent of Plymouth Schools, Dr. Gary Maestas, about this wonderful endeavor.
We have a really unique opportunity to work with the leadership over at the Kingston Collection to put one of our transportation vehicles as one of our smaller buses into the mall, and it's a bus that runs on compressed natural gas, which is a really neat opportunity for our district. But what really makes the opportunity unique is the leadership of the Kingston Collection gave us an opportunity to put the vehicle in there and leave the windows open and make it a drop-off point for school supplies. So for students that may need school supplies, schools that might need some school supplies, families that are having a hard time going out and buying some of these supplies, we're going to be able to distribute those supplies for some of our needy families. So for us as a school district, it really fits in line with giving students opportunity. And we're just grateful that they wanted to partner with us, so we're fortunate. We're talking paper, pencils, notebooks, little binders. Every school at the middle school and elementaries, high schools, they all have wish lists of supplies that parents can supplement and help with their children. So we give students lists, and what's going to be nice is we can actually have some of those supplies in school for kids that just can't make that happen, or families that can't make that happen. We actually have the vehicle in there for the month of August. So it's going to be in there for a month. I think it's been there for about a week already. So we'll pull it out the day before school starts, and the leadership of the collection is actually taking items out if it gets to a point where we need to do that. But we will kind of log everything that's in there, and then we'll figure out how we distribute through our principals of our schools. The vehicle will be in there, like I said, for a month, and it's open during mall hours, and anyone can go in, and if they feel compelled to drop off some school supplies for any of our students, we will manage it. We will make sure that our students that need school supplies will get them, and it's all through this opportunity.
There's a new business in the Pine Hills, and it's a little surprising that there wasn't one of these already there. A coffee shop. We caught up with the owners for the grand opening.
My husband and I, we own Rue Bar in Portage Park in North Plymouth, and we own Cafe Rue in Portage Park, which is a small, more grab-and-go type style cafe. And this is our first full-service cafe, breakfast and lunch. But it is a completely different animal than what Rue Bar is at nighttime. Breakfast and lunch, it's quick serve, but people love it. We moved to the Pine Hills in March of 2015 and quickly noticed, as my husband and I are both avid coffee drinkers, that there's no coffee shop in the Pine Hills. And if you know the Pine Hills at all, you know how beautiful it is and how it's this great little community. And we couldn't understand why there wasn't a coffee shop. So I said to my husband, I'm gonna call the Pine Hills and find out if there's commercial space available. Prior to the cafe, it was a ice cream shop, small little shop. And so they needed an addition in order to make the cafe work. And so the construction was a little bit of a process. And then come mid-June, the building was ready to go for us. So we got everything moved in and opened and did this little soft opening, and now we're here today. The indoor-outdoor seating, we've got about 38 seats inside and about 20 outside. The outside patio has been nothing but a success. Everyone loves sitting outside, eating breakfast, especially breakfast and their lunch. It's just totally invaluable. We get full at both areas, but the outside has been fantastic, and especially with the summer that we've had this year, it's been It's been fantastic. A lot of things going on here today. We've got live music and we've got some other entertainment. We had radio stations, and we're just all here to celebrate the grand opening of the much needed cafe here in Pine Hills.
Why not take all of me?
Bramhall's Country Store in Plymouth has recently started doing kids yoga. It's a great opportunity to bring the community together and for the kids to get outside and move around. They get to work on their breathing, movement, and teamwork in a safe, fun, and happy community environment. Michaela, who is one of the teachers of the yoga class, started teaching the kids in July and loves sharing her knowledge of yoga with them. PCN stopped in to learn more.
So my girlfriend Michaela is a speech therapist at the local high school, and she got her yoga certification with Michelle at Sanctuary Studios in Plymouth. And then, so she has the summers off because she's at the schools. And so she started doing yoga classes, and we decided to go into kids yoga because it's a really good spot for the kids to run around, be outside, get involved in local healthy food, and meet other kids, and get involved in the community. So me and my friends all grew up here, working here. A lot of my friends would come down here on their bikes to get penny candy. So it's cool that my dad got to see all the kids in the neighborhood growing up, and now we're kind of in this position where we get to see all of the young kids in the neighborhood and kind of give them a fun outlet on the weekends to get outside and be with other kids, and then hopefully we'll get to see them kind of grow up in the community and be where we are someday soon.
We make it really fun, so we make it kid accessible. We include games and imagination, and they love it. We love to do animal walks, so we come in different yoga poses, but we make them like an animal, so the kids can connect with that. And then we'll take our animal walks around the yard. I love teaching this yoga class to the kids. It's an opportunity to share everything I've learned with the community. It's an opportunity to create more community, bring more kids and parents together, and it's a lot of fun.
Teaching kids yoga is really about bringing the community together in a healthy way for me. And by healthy, I mean bringing movement into their day. So instead of sitting at home looking at their iPhone or their iPad for an hour, they're coming to kids yoga and they're moving around. We work a lot on breath work too in creative ways. So we'll smell a flower and we'll blow on the petals, or we'll blow on a pinwheel, that kind of thing. We do a lot of teamwork too and partner work. So it's really good for kids to learn how to use a partner and balance and support each other. So there's a lot of good skills that come out of it. But also it wasn't that they were just like listening and doing what we were saying. They were bringing something of their own into the session and being creative in their own ways. One of the younger boys that comes to my kids yoga session was doing a partner pose with, and it was called rowboat. So they bring their feet together and hold on to each other's hands and they row back and forth. And we presented it in a very gentle way, but he took it a step further and he said, "Oh no, a storm's coming, you have to paddle harder, and oh no, you fall out of your boat." So I was kind of happy that he did that, because it's so true that in life, like, sometimes storms come about, and but then it's this strategy of bringing it back to that calming and centered, positive place, and I think that's a really important skill for kids to learn how to do at a young age.
I'm really grateful for the opportunity to share yoga with the community and really plant the seed of yoga with these kids, because I can just imagine the impact it will have on their lives and everyone else around them.
I have to say...
That was great.
Yeah, that was wonderful. I have to say that our communities present so many creative opportunities for people, and maybe that's why I love doing this job so much, is we get an opportunity to stop and see how people contribute to their community in creative and different and wonderful well-being ways, whether it's art or reading or, stuff a bus or kids yoga. I mean, it's really incredible.
At a country store, which is so unique, and a lot of kids are involved in really structured physical activities, whether it's football or baseball or gymnastics or swimming. This just kind of gives them the creative flair within boundaries to be able to learn to move their bodies and yet also exercise their minds. And they obviously really enjoyed it. What a great idea.
It's a
Love
great
it.
idea. Fantastic. Town Talk brings us to Duxbury Town Hall for an update.
Hi there, I'm Rainey Reed, the town manager for the town of Duxbury, Massachusetts. Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to give folks an update on what's been going on here in town. And I wanted to let you know that we will be holding a special town meeting on Monday, September 19th at 7 o'clock at the Duxbury Performing Arts Center at 73 Alden Street. We have 8 articles of the warrant for the warrant that evening, 2 of which are concerning with regard to the FEMA flood maps. Our flood insurance rate maps are due to expire and we need to adopt new ones. As a result of this, it forced the need for us to have a fall special town meeting. Originally our intention was to hope to do it in the spring, but because of the immediacy of need and having to have them filed by November, we have to have this meeting in September. The voters will be asked to consider changes to the flood maps that we think will ultimately be beneficial once they are approved by the voters, and then we file what's called a letter of map amendment with the federal government almost the next day to make sure that the changes that our engineers, the Woods Hole group, have been reviewing and studying for us for a number of months to make sure that all of our flood areas are in sync with what's actually on the ground. So the maps that we will be approving won't actually be completed until after the process has been concluded at town meeting. Also, there is an article, a citizen's petition, as to whether or not the voters want to consider having fluoride in the water here in Duxbury. We've been putting fluoride in the water for over 30 years. This issue came up a couple of years ago and it was defeated, but it has been brought back by a citizen's petition, so that will also be there for the voters' consideration. We encourage you to come down. Again, that's at 7 o'clock on September 19th at the Performing Arts Center. One other event that I wanted to mention to you is a very special occasion having to do with the USS Duxbury Bay. The USS Duxbury Bay was a Barnegat-class seaplane tender commissioned in December of 1944. Her storied history and that of her crew included service in World War II in the 3rd Fleet as a Seadrome control tender and a gasoline supply ship. She saw service in Shanghai and Tsingtao, China, Korea, Hong Kong, and served as a flagship for the Persian Gulf Commander. She also performed 15 tours of duty in the Persian Gulf, the Arabian Sea, and the Indian Ocean as a flagship for the Middle East Force Commander. High points in her diplomatic and ceremonial duty included a visit in 1953 by Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia and acting as a contingent recovery ship for Project Mercury in May of 1963. I mention all of this because the Board of Selectmen will be holding a wreath-laying ceremony in remembrance of all who served aboard the USS Duxbury Bay on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of her decommissioning. This event will be held also on Monday, September 19th from 11 a.m. until 12 noon on the Powder Point Bridge here in Duxbury. The Powder Point Bridge will be closed at approximately 8:30 a.m. that day until approximately 1 p.m. In addition to a wreath laying, there will also be a reunion of the USS Duxbury Bay crew, which will likely be the last reunion of the surviving shipmates and our last opportunity to honor these veterans who selflessly honored their country with their dedicated service. As part of the event and the proceedings of that day, the USS Constitution has committed their color guard to participate in this ceremony. The public is certainly invited to this event and we welcome you to join us in the ceremony. It should be a very special occasion. And that's my update for today. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for watching. Replay times are at our website, or you can find PCN on YouTube.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for previews and behind-the-scenes information.
Stay tuned after this show and we'll replay the premiere episode of our new show called PCN Life. It will be new every other week.
See you next week for more PCN and a new episode of PCN Life.
DVD.